Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So I will say I am surprised to see when I came in here that specialization was 5 and I had something unlocked. What ended up happening and why the previous episode kind of just ended without any kind of a description was the game ended up hanging after the mission was done and never got back to the screen that got me paid and showed I had gotten things. Good news is it does appear that I did get credit for that because I'm now level 13, and most importantly, I got that mission with C or above, so I don't know what I scored. I don't know, honestly. That's one thing to maybe take a look at, but I don't think I can see it. Because what I was going to say is it's one thing to take a look at. So again, instrument rating, multi-engine. I don't have enough credit. So, if I try to go here, I can't do it. So, alright, climb and descent, turning, speed control, VOR, RNAV, ILS, and the IFR test. Okay. So I have all that. But yeah, I can't see my missions. Yeah, the companies is interesting. I'm curious what that's going to turn into later. I'm assuming that means I can own a company later. But there we go. So we have cargo transport light available. And that's going to be, alright, in Madagascar? Yeah, looks like. So my first flight there is there. So it's interesting how it kind of shows you where it's at in the world and then kind of puts you back where you were and says, hey, where do you want to go? So let's see. So let's go look at the specialization now that we've unlocked this. And really, all I can do is do this with the Cessna. Oh, so it's interesting because, yeah, all of these are tailwheel endorsement. I think because when you're transporting cargo in some of these areas, you're going to have a lot of missions that you can land. So is there a cargo? Yep, there is cargo transport heavy and super heavy, I saw. So anyway, become an essential link in the global supply chain. Take your first steps in cargo transport on local flights. Transport a variety, didn't say a variety, but it should. Transport variety of goods and equipment in time and good state. Again, really bad English, but your cargo transport adventure begins here. Alright, so for aerial advertising, again, I've got to do flight seeing or skydive aviation missions with a B or above. So see, I don't think I got a B, I got a C, which is how I did that. And these just are so time-consuming and difficult. And again, maybe that would be easier with the turbo engine rating, but I think, again, turbo, yeah, see, I got to get over here. So then I need high performance, and then, which I can do, but heavier, faster, and more capable aircraft. Let me look at this and see what we unlock. Okay, so we get the Beechcraft Bonanza and the Beechcraft Baron. But again, I need a high performance and the multi-engine to get the Baron. So this does prove challenging. Absolutely challenging to kind of figure out how to get where you want to get. But with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this Madagascar mission, which isn't really going to help me on unlocking anything else right now. But let's head down here to Africa. So flying bulk cargo to Embo de Fotatra. Fotatra. So, alright, so we're going to depart, and then we're going to do a pattern entry. It's 36 nautical miles, 30 minutes, so not too bad. Hopefully it'll load, and it'll work well. All right, so the client is Villy Lenoir. He's the local coordinator, and the operator is Protea Services. We're going to ensure cargo integrity, airline procedures. It's going to make it more interesting, and respect the condition of the aircraft. So I just don't know if this is calling in or not. All right, literally took 10 seconds, so that's good. Shrink distances and unlock potentials. I like that. I like that. So, interesting companies and things that they've gone through. I'm not entirely sure I like what my guy looks like, but it was just more the, I don't know, the chin. I mean, he definitely has the European look, which is certainly what my background is, but he looks a little more, he looks a lot more, I mean, I'm Eastern European from descent, but for some reason he just strikes me as much, a little more so than I am. So, you know, I just don't, not that I could make someone look just like me, but, so it's just a little odd. So let's see. All right, well, all we need is the startup procedure. Again, because we're not doing anything, it might be, you know, that we don't need to do much of anything. But anyway, we're going to start this up. Yeah, it just, in 2020, it didn't make a sound when the flaps moved. At least I don't think it did. So it's intriguing.
Hi there. It's Widad. Now that you're all set up, let me go over the important details with you.
All right.
Loose cargo on board. This is a very important shipment for one of our clients.
Whoa. She's not kidding.
To get to Embadifo Tatra promptly.
Wow, we got
sensitive cargo containers
a lot of stuff.
Handle slight turbulence, but maintain a constant flight speed and adapt to changing conditions. A prompt and safe delivery is key for the success of our business. You have all the pertinent information in your flight packet as a reminder.
Put this there.
Safe travels.
Because that ran into a problem last time where I was nearly running out of fuel, so we definitely want to pull it from both of the tanks.
Foxtrot Mike November, Charlie traffic Cessna 5 Romeo. Victor Kilo Foxtrot is taxiing to runway 29er.
Alright, so we're going to toggle? We're going to toggle the parking brakes. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to the hold short position. Whoops. Let me get everything set up here, because I always like do that later, and then I'm like flipping out. So again, whoops. I don't know how, I swear I'm always on where I need to be. But anyway, we're going to go with 3,000. And should be good. So I will tell you, I have started to feel, not that it's a bit of, I mean, a bit of a slog is what comes to mind. I mean, it's entertaining. But yeah, I'm just worried about the next things, like, because the flight seeing, like the flight seeing and the skydiving, I don't enjoy the flight seeing as much because of the, like, circular things. Like, if we just flew over waypoints and that was it, I think that would be better for me. I struggle with doing the circular little things. So, anyway, let's do that.
Foxtrot Mike November, Charlie traffic Cessna 5 Romeo. Victor Kilo Foxtrot taking off runway 29er departure to the south.
Okay, so 29er. That means I should go to the left, I think. Okay, what is happening and why am I not moving? There we go. Look, I know I didn't touch the brake. So, there we go. Now the arrows come out. I'm starting to worry. Interesting buildings. So, it is later. This is kind of my normal late night session. I'm not going to do what I did yesterday. I am tired, and I pushed it. But again, it was the first day, and finally got in, and really wanted to give kick the tires and get things out on the channel for folks. So we can see the boxes over our head in our glass cockpit there. Alright, so I gotta go half a mile down there before it is going to give me credit. So even though I probably don't, well, I probably do need some of it, because, I mean, the runway is probably not that long here. But yeah, the concern with the tail wheel planes is, I think those are more kind of the bush planes, and that, you know, you're going much slower and landing much slower, and so I'm guessing we're talking about runways that are significantly shorter. So I've just really got to pay attention to my landing. And again, like, this kind of mission is actually going to be enjoyable, I think, because this is more just a flight. And to some degree, I prefer that than, I mean, the skydiving thing is kind of just a flight. Yeah, I got to be over a certain point so they can jump. But it's that circular pattern in the flight seeing. And to unlock the next thing, I need either flight seeing or skydiving. And the skydiving takes so long. It's just so hard to climb in this plane. And getting up to 10,000 feet, I mean, it's just like forever. So, flight seeing is the one I can do the best. But, I don't know. So I'm going to have to do that, but I got to do 4 of them. You know, and I've got to do, you know, B, which is not the easiest thing, obviously. I've gotten C's plenty of times because I'm still struggling to land well. So, it's causing me to work. So how about that? It's less of a slog than it is just a lot of effort. But, you know, they do at least make it, come on, because this is going to roll off, and then it's going to give us, you know, it's going to yell at me. Alright, we're going to take off from runway 29. So, let's get these packages there, and go. So again, what I want to do is I want to get V speed, and I want to put myself at 500, and that way when we turn things on, it should be better. So I want to get going, if I can, like 60 or something. Alright, so there we go. Our initial climb is starting. So that was a much smoother takeoff. Alright, so do that. Stay on the heading. And that should work. So really cool scenery. Let's get the flaps up. That's going to be important for speed. Alright, so we're going to climb to 1300. And we're going to Endorsements Airport. Alright, so we're going to get ourselves turned pretty quickly here. Whoops. Okay. Let me pop back. Alright, because again, we're kind of heading up with the pattern. I don't necessarily want to climb much faster because it's just bad for me. But I'm going to go up one more because I think, again, at 500 is kind of the regular climb. And that'll work that way. So, alright, still trying to get to 1300. But then, hopefully, because it hasn't really told me, like, hey, you've got to do whatever. It does seem to be a little calmer. There's no vibrating packages. I love the packing tape. I mean, that's actually really well modeled. I mean, I've worked in manufacturing facilities for long portions of my life. Like, it's legit. Now, the one thing I will say, the boxes are in excellent shape. They're way nicer boxes than you probably would normally have. Alright, so finally got to 1,300 feet. Speeding up a bit. Can I go up to 700 and still accelerate, or will that slow me down? No, we're still slightly accelerating, but I can't really go above 700 because it just doesn't work. But we've got to go 34 nautical miles now, and again, then we've got to enter the pattern and go around. So they're definitely making you do a lot of that, where normally I'd be like, I'm just going straight in unless we got some wind problem. So the one thing I don't understand, like, this used to be a little airplane on that glass cockpit, and it's just like, I don't know, because like this is the line, and in theory I'm on this line, but this is, so it's like, am I the dot? Am I something else? I mean, maybe that's what we'll do, is we'll play around a little bit and try to learn the plane a little bit more of how this works in here, because this is just odd. Okay, I don't want that. So let's see. Detail. Alright, that's just detail. Yeah, because the Garmin, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's always been a dot, but like I'm moving here, but I don't know that I mean, maybe I am that point, and it's just taking me in there. Am I too high? Now I'm too high. Alright. Okay, well, so now I need to go 400, because, again, I think it's 500. Although, it might be nothing. Like, now it might have just leveled out. So let me go down, and then that will help. So we're gonna turn a bit. We're gonna try to get ourselves lined up. Alright, well, now we're getting bumpy. So I was hoping that wasn't gonna be the case, but it is. And so yeah, it's odd that heading, like, that these aren't like really a heading. Okay, now I'm going too far, so we're gonna back that off, the throttle off a bit. That didn't help. Back it off a bit again. Because, I mean, you would think, like, the bug is on, like, that should get me where I need to be. Alright, there we go. But it, like, I'm not staying in that flight path, which is driving me crazy, frankly. Alright, I'm gonna go down a couple hundred more. Gonna leave it that way, and we'll go from there. But it should, although it's not, it's like we're still drifting over. And so, you know, I know there's this gyro drift or whatever. I just don't know if, like, maybe the Cessna 172 is just horrid at it, and that's why it keeps doing it. I don't know. You know, and you can see, I mean, we're ticking it away. I mean, the hundredths of a mile are coming down pretty quickly, but it's still a good 2 or 3 seconds for a tenth of a mile at this speed. You know, and the thing is, like, where I'm at here, it looks like where I should be is over there. So that's like, are these on the line and I'm not on the line? I don't know. So, you know, the thing is, like, are these even important at this point to the world as I know it? Alright, so now I'm going to try to level out. I'm also going to try to turn back a little bit. But I think once we're done there, we leave the African coast and we head off to Madagascar across the way. But I would say I do think this is really nicely done. Like, it easily is right up there with the MSFS enhancement. And again, that just used new Bing maps, so maybe this is just using new Bing maps. It's just I don't need the MSFS enhancement anymore to kind of make things appear the way they do. Okay, so I just fixed it by 1 degree, went to 174. And we'll see, what that looks like. Because I think maybe I'm moving by 2 degrees every time. I don't know. All right, and so I'm also going to fully level out now. And then I think that'll allow me to run the engine up a little bit so that maybe I can get another knot or two out of things, which, it's another knot or two. But, yeah, so I mean, I've certainly been enjoying unlocking and trying different mission types. It's just obviously, where I used the word slog in the beginning, like it's certainly getting more difficult to do that. It appears as we get higher up, which is not abnormal. I mean, once again, should it be super easy to be able to fly like a the beluga whale cargo plane? Probably not. You probably need to earn that and have enough experience, because that could really be dangerous for you, other people, all of that. But yeah, so we must be the dot. I'd have to go into 2020 again and look, but I swear it shows up as an airplane. So the fact that it's just a dot with that 2, because again, like, why does it have the range around it like that? Like, that's my other thing, is like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. It bugs me that it's just not an airplane and that I can't tell where I am. Like, I don't need this circle around me. So, I don't know. If anybody knows how to change it to a plane, if it can be done, let me know in the comments below. Alright, well, we're getting there. It said only half an hour, but, just not sure. I mean, in theory, as long as I'm going 60, like, that should work. So, because again, like I said, it's 1/10 of a mile every, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about every 3 seconds. So that means I'm doing a mile every 30 seconds, which would make sense because we're at about 120 knots, so we're kind of almost double. We're floating out the left side again, so we'll move back over. Alright, so at this point I have officially left. I can't say I've left Africa, I guess, because I think Madagascar is technically still considered part of the continent of Africa. But I've left mainland Africa. I don't know that I've really heard that term applied to Africa, but why wouldn't it be? Although it looks, no, I think there's just something sticking out there, because I'm like, it looks like they connect, but we know they don't. We know that it's an island. If I remember, meerkats are from Madagascar. So, big eyes, little mischievous little things. So yeah, the reality that I've talked about in some of the videos, as far as, what works, what doesn't. So the challenge is, I think I have like 100, I have between 100 and 200 things in my community folder in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And they mainly are around airports, so scenery for airports, or scenery in general, because I have like one that is off the Irish coast when we were flying at one point, that is some of the cliffs in the area, but most of them are airports. And then liveries for planes, and then aircraft and planes of some sort is the majority of it. I have a few things, like there is some navigation displays and so forth that would go in the TBM 850. So that was the one thing, like I didn't have that, and so and that was the one thing, like I got in the TBM 850, all the systems worked. The checklist was actually incredible, given that it wasn't part of the aircraft, because what I was expecting is, I know we have this EFB that we can use, that is sitting over here, but that we can pull up, and I can run it off on one of my other screens so that it's not distracting on the screen here or any of that. And there's checklists in the EFB, and they appear very thorough for like the Cessna, which is what I had looked at, but I used it for the TBM, and the cool thing is, because it's obviously not a included plane, so I was expecting, okay, for included planes it'll have some really, it'll be thorough, but for everything else, like, it probably won't have anything. Not only did it have the checklist, but it has an eyeball next to each of the items, and when you click on it, it literally goes to and then highlights the control for you, and like if you don't know where it is, and so forth. And it's doing that on a plane that's not a default plane. So again, to me, that's huge. I mean, that's a big thing, because the checklist is far more thorough than anything I've found on the internet for the TBM 850, or that even I think came in the manual for the TBM 850. So it looks like they've taken, the time, because I mean, the black square TBM is popular. I get that. It's one of the more popular payware, but it's not like it's an airliner. So I would expect, like, the airliner, maybe the, Citation jets, things like that, might be done that weren't included. So like the Phoenix or Phoenix. I don't know why I said Phoenix. I've always been thinking, like, initially when I was looking at it, is that what it is? But obviously that's not what it is. So, but anyway. So I would expect it for that, or the fly-by-wire, or whatever. And both of those are A320s, so you just need one checklist, and you just can apply it to both aircraft, because if they're both properly modeled, obviously the control surfaces will be the same. But so what I'm doing is slowly bringing things over, and the Microsoft Flight Simulator add-on linker has already been updated for 2024. So all you need to do is go in there, pick 2024 Steam instead of 2020 Steam, or whatever you've got, because I'm assuming if you have the Microsoft Store, you can still use it. I think it's saying Steam, like, because it's intelligent enough to know that those are the things I have, and then you just, it sets pointers in the directory, and so as opposed to moving files in and out, which is what I was doing in 2020, because I never used the add-on linker, it's very much like the mod manager I have for Farming Simulator that I loved, that let me switch, say, between the VIP series and FOC, and it would just use a different mods directory, basically with pointers. So it's the same thing. It uses pointers to wherever I put the files, and so I just put those files there one time, and then I think I can set up, again, different presets, like, hey, this is this and that, and instead of moving mods in and out, I just do that, and so that will give me more control, where Like, I don't have to have all the airports loaded. I can only load the airports I need for that flight, for example. Alright, so descent. And there we go. So we have to fly to the pattern entry. We're going to go down.
Foxtrot Mike Alpha, Delta Traffic Cessna 5 Romeo. Victor Kilo Foxtrot 5 miles, northwest 2,200 feet inbound to land runway 25.
Alright, so we're going to enter the pattern. And again, I think what I need to do is go over here because I think we're basically coming down. I think. It's just kind of hard to tell. But I think, yeah, we're coming in and then... Because, yeah, I need to fly to final. Alright, I don't want to stall. Because that always ends up being my thing. Oh, okay, I thought I lowered this. Okay, so again, let's do this. And that will then help. Because then I'll see. See, so I think I go here. And, well, I'm not sure. Because I think the airport is there. I mean, obviously that would make some sense. But I think, you know, I'm able to... Alright, so let me go down, and this time I am going to drop this down. Because I need to slow myself down. And then we need to land. But you can see I'm kind of where I need to be here. Like, there's no reason to join the pattern there the way I was going, so I'll just come in this way, and that should be okay. There's no other traffic, no other planes. Okay, at this point, we're going to lower the flaps, and that'll slow me down some more. And again, we're going to fly the traffic pattern, so this is kind of my leg here. At this point, I'm going to break out of the autopilot, and we're going to speed up. And I'm going to lower my flaps again, so that I can go as slow as possible. And again, what I want to do is land going like 40 or 50. Because that will be gentle, in theory, and won't cause any problems. And so that was my issue. I had come in too hot before. Now I did discover, for whatever reason, oh, no, it's not. I had the landing rate monitor up. I wonder if it was just up for the TBM, but it won't work for these. That is interesting. It did work somewhere. Alright, so I flew to final. We're going to announce traffic. Alright, and now I'm going to, whoops, I'm going to come on down.
Foxtrot Mike Alpha Delta Traffic Cessna 5 Romeo. Victor Kilo Foxtrot is on final runway 25 to land.
So again, very small, very slow. This better be the runway. I don't know how it couldn't be, but I'm honestly a bit concerned. No, because what I was looking for is, I'm like, I do have the landing rate monitor, but, alright, so we're gonna be gentle here. What? So where's the runway? Well, that doesn't work. Great. So where's the runway, and where am I supposed to go? Great. Alright, I don't know how to find where I need to be. So clearly I went to the wrong place. So let me look here. Well, not really. In theory, no, this is where... This is the runway. I don't understand. Okay. Because, yeah, where I'm at, it shows as the runway. So yeah, it shows as the runway here. I mean, it's a little bit over this way. I mean, I'm kind of going onto it now. So the runway's more where this dirt track is. Yeah, it's odd. But okay. So, I don't understand. I mean, I landed a little to the side, but my god, it wasn't that bad. Alright, let's see what we get, and hopefully, again, we won't get locked up, because this is the screen that it got stuck. See how fast that was? Alright, undesignated landing area. Alright, we did get an A. So we'll get a... Oh, I got an S for the first time. So, no skip bonus, bad weather bonus. I don't think I've ever not had a bad weather bonus. So that is really interesting. So in theory, I've never flown in nice weather. But yeah, I don't know if S is superb or whatever, but I've achieved it for the first time in my career. Alright. So now I have enough to get... Oh, so close. If I hadn't lost my reputation last time, that would have been excellent. Alright, new level reached, so we're at level 15, almost level 16, which I think is what we need to get certain things. And this one scares me, because you have to, like, come down and be able to grab the banner. I don't know that I'm that good, frankly. I mean, I have to do it in a Cessna, so I should be okay. But, you know, again, I gotta do flight seeing, and, you know, here I need level 16, and then we're doing charter service pilots. So, once again, we've got multi-engine, turboprop. So it's like I want jets, but I'm almost wondering if I'm going the wrong direction. Because, see, for search and rescue, I need... Let's see, I need a tailwheel endorsement. Well, because they're all tailwheel plans. But plans? Planes? And then there I finally need an instrument rating. And then I need a scoop endorsement. Okay, so that's just the one kind of plane. Turboprop engine rating. Alright, so let's go back here. I really don't want to do a tailwheel endorsement. I'm just not a fan of that. But the multi-engine and the instrument rating doesn't seem to do that much for me. So it looks like... Yeah, because to get the scoop endorsement, I need a turboprop. So I think I need to do the high... Because, yeah, really, these are for airliners, but that's later. So I think I need to go this way, really, and then maybe that way. You know, at this point, I could do both of these at some point. So let's look at the high performance endorsement. Again, we know what that's going to give us, 5 minutes. It allows you to operate an airplane with an engine capability of producing over 200 horsepower. This endorsement enables pilots to fly heavier, faster, and more capable aircraft. So, I mean, and this is a good plane. But let's see. If we take the exam, we're going to go ahead and do that. Right, so the high performance endorsement enables pilots to fly aircraft powered with twin engine producing more than 200 horsepower. Today's flight consists of a standard left-hand traffic pattern around Friday Harbor's airport, located on the beautiful island of San Juan in the state of Washington, USA. Oh, I thought it was San Juan, Puerto Rico, honestly. With great power comes extra side effects, prompting pilots to adapt their flying to manage the output of more powerful engines. Okay, so I assume it's going to be the same thing. We got more torque, accentuated left turning tendencies, more heat generation, more complex system management. Will be in a Cessna 400 TT Carvalis, an airplane that marked history as the fastest single-engine fixed-gear production aircraft. So it's 300 horsepower, enabling it to cruise at over 200. Try to avoid going 85% power in cruise. If you want to counter the aircraft's left turning tendencies, you'll need to input some right rudder to keep the plane centered on the runway on takeoff. Okay, well that I know, that I'm used to with almost everything. Alright. So let's see if we can do this. Again, we can do it for free as many times as we want, so it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so it transferred us because in Navigraph I see that it bounced over. Looks like the left-hand traffic pattern is going to take us over some water. Because, yeah, I may ultimately end up getting something before aerial advertising. So that's going to be the interesting thing. But I guess it just depends what I try to work through. Alright. I don't know that that plane looks that great. Alright, the auto rudder is turned off for this certification. Alright, so let's get over here. Alright, I see. It's not actually like having me do things. Okay, where's the pitot cover on this plane? Aha, there it is. Alright. Okay, should be there. There we go. Alright. And now we'll enter the aircraft. That's a weird effect. Now I don't know how to do anything on this aircraft, so I am just going to hit the keys.
Time to show what you can do with more powerful aircraft. You will be flying a Cessna 400 TT Corvallis today. With more than 200
Never flown
horsepower,
this
it has
plane.
to be the most powerful single-engine piston-powered plane that you have ever flown. Try to be gentle on the controls and remain alert during takeoff and landing. Do not hesitate to apply some right rudder to counter the aircraft's left-turning tendencies.
Alright, let's get our taxi clearance. Oh,
Ground
that's
5
even better
Romeo.
when you hit Q.
Victor Kilo Foxtrot requests taxi for takeoff departure to the south.
5 Romeo, Victor Kilo Foxtrot taxi to and hold short of runway tree for using taxiway. Contact tower on 128.25 when ready.
Alright, so we've waited for the clearance. Alright. So at this point, there we go. Now we
Taxi
acknowledge
to and hold
clearance.
short runway tree for using taxiway Victor Kilo Foxtrot.
Alright, so we'll toggle off the brakes. And I'm going to put the flaps down. This is an interesting... Ooh, wow. Yeah, it's immediately pulling. It's a lot of noise. I'll tell you that. Alright. I don't know if this is a new plane for 2024. I don't recall ever flying this plane for certain, though. It's very small. Yeah. I don't know what happened there just because I switched outside, but it did. But hopefully, this certification will be easy. Yeah, the tail draggy people, that'll be more interesting. But I think I need to get that unless I don't want to do search and rescue, so... Alright, pull that back. Alright. We'll get ourselves there, stop at the hold short. Okay, I'm not in the hold short. Come on, am I not? I guess I'm technically not there yet, so let's get a little bit in. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to request the clearance, but yes, it's much nicer not to throw my face in.
Runway tree 4 south departure.
Alright.
5 Romeo, Victor Kilo Foxtrot altimeter 29.902 departure to the south approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 4.
Okay.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 4 Victor Kilo Foxtrot.
Alright, I can see my throttle is 9, like I was at 10 before. There's 10. Alright, so we're going to enter runway 34, and then I assume we're just going to take off, but I've got to be careful with the rest of it here. Alright, and again, we'll just fly this since it's just a traffic pattern. So, yes, I need some right rudder. Need a good amount of right rudder. Wow. Okay, I assume, yeah, the wheels don't come up here, so I need to climb to 850. And we'll get our flaps up, which again,
Victor
now
Kilo
that we have
Foxtrot, continue
airspeed.
for south departure.
See, and then at
Tower
least
5
I'm not
Romeo.
jamming
Victor
things
Kilo
into them,
Foxtrot, continue for south departure.
into anything, so... Okay. So now I want to get to the crosswind end, but I need to keep climbing. So, let's see. So I'm trying to see, so we're at what, 260-ish? So maybe 255, so then we're going to go down to like 165. Alright, just about. Alright, so we're climbing to 1600. Alright, maintain 1600. So I want to go back down here. And I want to reach the downwind leg. Let's go down a bit. $165-ish. So there we go. Head over there. 1600. So we're doing, no, don't climb that fast. Don't be doing that. Okay, so at this point I can probably pull back some because I don't, again, need to...
Tower 5 Romeo, Victor Kilo Foxtrot 1,600 feet to land.
5 Romeo, Victor Kilo Foxtrot Tower. Altimeter 29.902, make left base runway tree 4.
Fly left base runway tree 4 Victor Kilo Foxtrot.
Victor Kilo Foxtrot wind 254 at 4. Clear to land runway tree 4.
Cleared to land runway tree 4 Victor Kilo Foxtrot.
Okay, so again, now we're going to 75 or so. Again, I'm fully shut down here, but like my power is off, but I am still going crazy here. Alright, land on the runway, so let me not turn too sharply. I might have taken too long, but we'll see. Alright. So I'm going to dive, and then we're going to kind of come back here. Alright. Yeah, so we'll exceed the max flaps because otherwise we're never going to slow down. This is a lot. This is a lot. Ah.
Victor Kilo Foxtrot contact ground on 128.25.
Oof.
Going to 128.25 Victor Kilo Foxtrot.
Where's the hold short? Where is the hold short? Alright, so let me go back in the plane. I'm going to try to turn around. Come on. That was the challenge, like I needed to pull off there, but I was going way too fast. This is, I mean, you know, and some of it is, again, this was a tough airport, but, so yeah, it was not a pretty landing. Oh, sure. Come on. So, there's a hill, which doesn't help anybody.
Ground 5 Romeo, Victor Kilo Foxtrot taxi to parking.
5 Romeo, Victor Kilo Foxtrot taxi to General Aviation parking via taxiway.
I don't like how that works. Like, I'm supposed to cross that line, and I understand. I mean, I stopped in the hold short space, so I don't understand that. And maybe it was because my engine's still running. I don't know. But either way, like, I'm not a fan of how that worked out. And again, I don't have to do, like, have the greatest score ever. I mean, that's not required. Alright.
Solid performance, with a few simple tweaks that would have been a perfect flight.
Yeah, without you messing me up, but whatever. Alright, well, a really high B, so that's all we need. Alright, congratulations. So we know what it lets us do because it just repeats the same thing. So now we can do these for whatever reason we can't see that one. But now, you know, and then these two become available. So 30,000, 20,000. But again, I need the multi-engine. Now if I go here, allows you to fly tail draggers whose backcountry flying and short takeoff and landing are superior to tricycle geared aircraft. I'm gonna try this. If I fail, I'm gonna then go to another item, but we're good here, so because then I'll just have this endorsement and I'll be set. So we do have to come all the way around. Alright. Taking off, landing, and taxiing in a plane equipped with a tail wheel is not as easy as it might seem. Airplanes with main gear toward the front and a small wheel are commonly referred to as conventionally geared aircraft or tail draggers. You will be showing what you can do aboard one of the most advanced conventionally geared aircraft on the market, the Cub Crafter's X-Cub. So the problem is the landing. There are two ways with tail wheels: 3-point landings and wheel landings. A wheel landing implies the main gear touches down before the tail wheel does. A 3-point landing occurs when pilots touch down with all 3 wheels at the same time. Both techniques have their share of advantages and drawbacks. For the purpose of this exam, we will opt for a 3-point landing, which should provide you with more ground authority after touchdown. This maneuver will require you to flare with more angle than usual. Remember to keep your stick back after landing and be gentle while braking, as excessive braking can lead the aircraft to flip over on its nose. Exactly. While taking off and landing with tail draggers, overcorrection and sideloading can lead to what is commonly referred to as a ground loop, a loss of aircraft control that sometimes resembles an automotive spin. To avoid losing control, perform smooth adjustments with the rudder, maintain center line, and keep the aircraft's center of gravity in line with the main wheels. Alright, perform a tail-high takeoff, follow a standard pattern, perform a 3-point landing, taxi back to the parking spot. Just don't know that I can do this, but we're going to find out. So, it'll be a bit of entertainment for sure. Alright, there is our plane. I have tried to fly one of these suckers before, and it was not pretty. I have definitely nosedived on it, so I'm not a big fan of this. So let's see, we need to take those off, take the chocks off, okay, take the pitot and then the static port cover. Alright, oh, I guess it's both. Alright, where's the handle on the door? Oh, do I have to go on the other side? I guess so. Alright. interesting. So, pop it in the front. And hi. Whoops. How you doing? I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be scary for all of us. All right. So, we're gonna
Remember
wait
that
for engine
tailriggers do not
start.
behave in the same way as tricycle-geared aircraft while taxiing, taking off, and landing. Keep your speed low while taxiing, and brake progressively while pitching back once you land to avoid flipping the aircraft over. Try to maintain center line and anticipate rear-wheel drift while turning on the taxiway.
Ay, ay, ay. Sure. Alright. Question is, alright. Somewhere.
Remember that once you get some speed on the runway, you will want to lift the tail of the aircraft by gently pushing forward on the stick.
Kilo Lima
Once you are on the
November
main
Alpha
gear
Traffic
and
Hub
reach rotation
Crafters
speed,
5 Romeo.
start gently
Victor
pitching
Kilo
back to take
Foxtrot
off.
is
Keep your
taxiing
feet
to
on the rudder
runway
to brace
10.
for left-turning tendencies.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to toggle the brakes. And then we're going to stop and hold short. So. I said if I pull this off, I'm going to be pretty darn amazed. It moves very quickly. I barely touch the throttle. Wow. Alright. That's probably too low. I don't know why these people stand there and then they're going to get chopped into little bits by the propeller. So, again, not the smartest thing, but alright, so we gotta go there. Man, I can't even tell where I'm at. What if I... Alright, I guess we'll sit up a little higher. But you can see, like, my stall speed is like 40, so I can go like a lot slower. Alright, so we're gonna get in here, and we're gonna hold short. See, and I almost screwed that up, so.
Kilo Lima November Alpha Traffic Hub Crafters 5 Romeo. Victor Kilo Foxtrot taking off runway 10 departure to the west.
Okay. It's now or never. Oh, I want to go to 11. That's crazy. Alright, get over here. Enter runway 10. Use the throttle lever to increase power to maximum. I assume that's just this. Alright, lift the tail wheel off the ground. Alright. And then take off. Man, they are short takeoffs. Oof. Like, yeah, we get going there really quick. Alright, so we'll go down where I can see a little better. I have to climb to 500 feet. And again, it's left traffic pattern. Oh. Sorry. Alright. Go crosswind. So I want to climb to 1,000 feet. So we'll get everything sped up. Although I'm climbing at like 1,100, so that's crazy. Now we want to get downwind. Alright, so I'm sure I need to level out at 1,000, so let's do that. So the flying is not necessarily the worst part. It's the landing. So, alright. So, down, 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 down. I don't want to go too high. Alright. So I definitely need to bring this down. Alright, announce position.
Kilo Lima November Alpha Traffic Cub Crafters 5 Romeo. Victor Kilo Foxtrot 1 miles north, 1,200 feet inbound to land runway 28.
Alright, so I have to reach the base end. And yes, I am diving on purpose because I need to be down very quickly. Alright.
Try to land by making contact with all 3 wheels at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Kilo Lima November Alpha Traffic Cub Crafters 5 Romeo. Victor Kilo Foxtrot is on final runway 28 to land.
Come on. Yeah, I know. Okay, well, we got the flare from the flaps. But what I want to do is... Wow. That's the best I've ever done. I promise. So. And again, I've never tried it.
None of my students performed a belly landing before.
Oh.
You've passed your certification. Congratulations. Only a few minor kinks to iron out, and you could make for a perfect pilot.
Oh. I'm surprised it didn't have me go do stuff, but okay. Yeah, it was actually quite well done, but okay. Alright, so I see. It's out of 1,000,000 points in the endorsement, is what it is. When I was getting like 919, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need more. Alright, well, now I can fly tail draggers, which... I mean, again, yeah, so I need that like for the agricultural thing, because that's an agricultural plane, and so forth. But now I'm down to nothing. But at this point, you know, we're in good shape. We need a better reputation, so definitely want to go ahead and do that. I may just do a single mission in the next one, because I'm thinking they might get a little bit, like there might be a little bit more involved. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But at this point, we've got 2 certifications in this episode, and did a new specialization. So pretty exciting episode if you really think about it from the career standpoint. And so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. As always, if you've enjoyed this but haven't dropped a like, please consider that. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider that as well. I'll see you next time.